Hey guys, this is Costi coming to you with Pickdawgz.com with another report. We're going to finalize here the Copa America in the third place game and the championship game. And we have Goran here that's going to break down these two last games in this amazing tournament. What's going on, Goran?
Yeah, Costi, we are at the end of this big tournament that was being played in the States. We have two games left. The third place game between Canada and Uruguay on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the big finale on Sunday between Argentina, the current champion, and Colombia, who's been beating pretty much everyone in this tournament. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Canada and Uruguay, Costi. We did watch that game that Uruguay played against Colombia. I know that we had the over 2 goals in that one and just couldn't get it. They couldn't get it, but there was so much fight in that game. I did certainly enjoy it. And then there was stuff after the game that was happening in the stands, which of course nobody wanted to see.
Yeah, and it's been a really good tournament. I feel like it's much different than the Euros. When you watch the Euros and Copa America, just the officiating is different. The temperature is different. You're seeing much higher temperatures here in the United States than they do have in Germany. So it's, survival of the fittest. And obviously, these South American and North American teams are very, very, they have the endurance to handle it. But as you see, if certain teams just wind down and can't stay and can't chase like the defensive minded teams like Canada had to do in the last matchup, they just couldn't keep chasing over and over against Argentina, and eventually they got burned because you just end up getting tired. But in this third place game, I'm excited for Uruguay and Canada. I do think again Canada is a little outmatched. Uruguay was very, very close to that Colombia team. They're both very, very good. And I think Uruguay is a step below Colombia. I mean, Colombia has beaten everybody in the last 20 games, but Uruguay is up there. I mean, it was a fairly close game throughout, and they had plenty of opportunities to get one in the back of the net, which ended up hitting a couple posts. I mean, that's the type of game that it was. I do like Uruguay in this one. I think Canada had a great run in this tournament. I think they have a lot of great players, but it's just a different caliber of play for Uruguay and their talent up front with the old guard and the young guys. It's a mixture of both between Suarez and then you're talking about guys that are the younger breed that are just as good. So, I do like Uruguay in this one. I think they have the better midfield. I think they'll have the better defense. And I mean, unless Canada keeps it close and maybe takes it to extras, I don't see Canada winning this one outright. So I do like Uruguay in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Canada is going to have a very, very hard time in this one. Uruguay is one of the rougher teams that we've seen in Copa America this year, and they definitely don't shy away from making those fouls. They definitely like to battle it out. While Canada simply is not used to that type of football right now. They are getting there. They did put up a decent fight against Argentina. I have to say that they have a few great chances at the end of the game. They just couldn't score a goal. But they simply are missing that tiny bit of experience to go toe to toe with teams like Argentina, Colombia, and Uruguay right now. So I do like Uruguay to get a third place here. They possibly deserved a little bit more against Colombia. But even though they had an extra player on the pitch for the entire second half, they just couldn't score a goal. And like you said, hit a couple of posts. Darwin Nunez missed a few great chances as well. They just weren't that effective. But luckily for them, Canada has scored only a couple of goals in this tournament so far. So they're far from being an effective team in that attacking end. Defensively, they do make mistakes. They have a very, very young defense as well. Uruguay at minus 175, it is a bit juiced right now. Hopefully, we get a decent line as we approach the game time, but definitely early lead is Uruguay in this game.
Yep, I'm with you as well on Uruguay to take down the third place game. Now, if you guys are loving the content, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you like the content that Goran and myself produce for you guys, absolutely free. Just hit the like button daily. And if you're somebody that's a bigger player that wants more than just the games that we're giving out, and we're doing these predictions on for the videos, and you want access to all of our tiered system plays, it's not just going to be Copa and Euros like we've been doing for this video series. As soon as the end of August hits, Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, all the big leagues are starting up again, the EPL. So if you're looking to really scale and treat it more like a business, text me on the number that you see on the screen. Text the word Golden Boot. I will personally call you back. We have a private messaging platform where you get directly the games that are bet every single day in real time, which a lot of times the games we don't give out are about an hour before we see the lineups and we see the formations, which is two of the bigger pieces of how to actually make money in soccer long term. So, with that being said, if you're interested, definitely shoot me a text or a number if you're a bigger player, and I'll have a conversation and just give you the scope if it's for you and may not be for you. And if you're a smaller player, keep watching all of our free prediction videos. They're absolutely free for a reason because we want to help you guys make money no matter if you're a big player or small. And then finally, Goran, we have the championship game, the final, Argentina against Colombia, by far the two best teams in this tournament. Colombia unbeaten, like we've said, in the last 20. And then you have Argentina, the defending World Cup champions. They were a little bit out of form in the beginning of this tournament, and I think that has a lot to do with Messi having an injury. But finally, they're putting it together, and they're just as deadly as ever. This is a really, really tight game. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to extra time. I also would not be surprised if this goes to a penalty shootout because Colombia is very, very tough. They played with 10 men the second half against Uruguay, and they were able to defend enough to not let up a goal. So this Colombia team is very, very good. You're seeing the players on this team that were at one point really good players, but then they struggled in club ball, and then all of a sudden Hernandez is playing like he's 22 again. I mean, it's unbelievable to see a player that's aged so much that's playing the best ball ever right now. So this is a really tight one. I do think I would put a little bit on the draw here. I do believe this is going to go to extra time. I don't see a team winning this in regulation time, and that would be my bet for this one as a draw.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, Colombia played with 10 men against Uruguay. And not only they defended really well, they also created a few great chances and could have increased that lead that they had from the first half. Well, Argentina, they have been struggling a little bit in the attacking end, yes, but they haven't conceded a lot of goals. Only one goal so far in this tournament, and that was against Ecuador. Uh, Apart from that, they have won every other game in the regulation, beaten Canada, beaten Chile, Peru, Ecuador after a penalty shootout, and then once again Canada, which by far was probably their best game in this tournament. They created a lot of great chances, they dominated. They were controlling the flow of the game for pretty much the entire 90 minutes. And Messi got a goal. So that's going to be a huge boost for this Argentinian team for sure. I believe that they have a couple of injured players for this game because it was a rough game against Canada as well. But they have to go against Colombia, the team that hasn't lost any of their last 28 games. Now, for a national team, that's a super, super long streak. They don't play a lot of games a year. They play maybe 7 or 8 games a year. So Colombia basically undefeated for like 2.5, 3 years or so. And this is going to be a highly, highly intense game. Colombia, like you said, very well deserved to be here. So is Argentina. Two teams by far the best in this tournament. And I do like the draw. It's plus 185. You can tell that the books are expecting it. Now, whether that's going to be 0-0 or 1-1 or something like that, we'll see. And I just want to say that there is overtime in this game before we get into penalty shootout. So there will be 2 times 15 minutes in case of a draw in the 90 minutes and then potentially penalty shootout. But we'll see how this was going to end. Draw, definitely an early look for sure. But maybe Colombia to lift the trophy should be around plus 125 or something like that, 150 maybe. If we can snag that, it's definitely worth a shot because they have been playing outstanding football in this tournament.
Well, there you have it, guys. The Copa America, third place and finals breakdown. Again, if you want more access to everything that we do, if you just want and you're a smaller player and you want the best bets of the day, going over to pickdawgz.com under premium picks, you'll see Goran's name. Click his name. He sells daily passes, weekly passes, even seasonal passes. But if you're a bigger player that wants to know exactly what we're putting our money on half an hour, 1 hour before kickoff to these matches that we're giving out, definitely text me on the number you see on the screen. Text the word Golden Boot, and I will personally either text you right back and let you know. I'll call you as soon as I can. So, Goran, again, thank you. Another great tournament, and we'll do a lot more content in the future.
Definitely. Thank you for having me, Costa. It was a real pleasure. We've seen some outstanding games, seen some great goals. Now it's just the time to finish these tournaments, and then we are turning the focus to the club soccer, which is just around the corner, guys.
Can't wait.
So, yeah, it's gonna be very, very fun. Lots of games to bet on, lots of games to win money on. So stay tuned, guys, and of course, good luck with all of your bets and enjoy.